Ladies and gentlemen, the American cheer and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Well, RFK Jr. was not invited to the Kennedy St. Patrick's Day at the White House. All the rest of the Klan was. And Chris Cuomo made a comment to RFK Jr. saying, well, what do you think about this? The people that know you the best aren't supporting you. Well, let me just tell you something. That's a bunch of crock. Bunch of crock. You know, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., without any doubt, is the most honorable Kennedy in the Klan. And of course, he's a boat rocker. And when you're a boat rocker, this kind of thing happens. No one knows it more than yours truly. The conversations my cousin Josh and I have every day about this crap. All right, Mar-a-Lago case. The judge has indicated to the prosecutor, you're going to show the jury these confidential documents or dismiss the case. Can't have it both ways. We'll see what happens. Mark Levin said something that I kind of agree with. He's saying, where are the Republican billionaires helping out Trump on his bond? You think about it, especially when you know the appeal will be successful. I mean, this is outrageous what Erdogan did. Crazy. All right, Ruth Bader Ginsburg awards got canceled. You know why? Because they were going to honor Elon Musk. Oh, and Jeff Bezos. So they get funny. All right, no $40,000 loan. Remember the White House said it was a $40,000 loan to Joe Biden and Jim was paying it back? No $40,000 loan. Trump says 100% tariffs on Chinese vehicles. Good for him. He still wants Liz Cheney to be prosecuted. She ought to be prosecuted. That committee on January 6th did more unethical injustice than Trump ever did. It's unbelievable. Carbon emissions. A circuit court has said, nah, baby, nah, to all these emission standards that Joe Biden wanted to lay on us. Medicaid, they're going after dead people's property. Why? Because that's what government does. Sick. Trump does not have the money, cannot raise the money, might be forced to sell assets. He needs it tangled up in legal appeals, battles, and everything else. I cannot believe someone doesn't come to his aid. I mean, he's going to be the president. I mean, really? I find it really odd. Really odd. It's got to be embarrassing for him, too. Price of chocolate's going up. I am a chocoholic. It's one of my vices. And the cocoa bean is apparently getting more scarce. We need more chocolate. Musk says ketamine works for him and that the shareholders of Tesla should be happy that he takes it. Whatever works. Charles III is not dead. I don't know if Spindley is going to cover this in his world news, but Russia put out a statement that Charles III was dead. He's not dead. By the way, Kate and William were out publicly yesterday, and they looked fine. Obama stopped by 1 Downing Street. See what was going on. Who knows what that was all about with the new prime minister. I keep forgetting the new prime minister's name. Zunuk?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Nome has declared South Dakota being invaded. Good for her. I am beginning to think that she's going to be the VP. Biden's shoes. He has special shoes like concrete shoes, so he doesn't fall over. Unbelievable. We have this as the leader of our country. It's the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope you have a great first day of spring. Ladies and gentlemen, the American cheer and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News. Shakespeare insult of the day, don't be a loudish, folly-falling coxcomb. All right, Delhi shooting last night. Man, it just goes on and on and on. The shootings over on that west side. Gold Star is going to Coke. Guess who else is going to Coke? Skyline. What do you think about that? This is weird. When Frisch's shifted to Pepsi, I didn't like it. I wanted my cherry Coke. I like Mountain Dew with my Skyline. So I'm not good with this. Can you imagine the hit when these soft drink companies take on me? Think of all the Coke or Pepsi that goes through Gold Star and Skyline in a year. That's a lot of sugar. All right, in Kentucky news, Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be speaking, I think, in April in Western Kentucky University. Watch all the brouhaha. The General Assembly has passed a bill that would allow public dollars to private schools. We'll see. I'm sure the governor will veto it. It'll get overridden, and then it'll go on the ballot. Vanessa Crum, pictured right here, God love her, was found in a river by the Kentucky State Police. She had been missing. All right, this is a big news item. This is breaking news, and it deals with the lawsuit that Chris Thieneman filed against Michael O'Connell like 5 freaking years ago. What this was is Michael O'Connell, the disgusting, corrupt, crooked Jefferson County attorney, called in a public forum, said that Chris Thieneman was a sexual predator. Unfreaking believable. Chris Thieneman sued O'Connell for defamation. O'Connell claimed immunity, appeals it all the way up to the appeals court in Kentucky, loses. The case comes back to Kentucky. It is set for trial today. And you know what Joey Klausing, the lawyer for O'Connell, does? Files an appeal, interlocutory appeal, on the same issue of immunity that's already been heard. Motion to strike was filed to strike the appeal in the Court of Appeals. Last week, Court of Appeals doesn't move that quick. So therefore, Chris Thieneman, after 5 years of battle, lost his trial date today. And my guess is he won't get his trial for another year. This is what goes on in our corrupt legal system. And you know how it's corrupt? Big defense firms, where Joey Klausing works at, write the rules. They get away with everything. Can you imagine? An appeals court has already decided the decision, the immunity issue, and he just files an interlocutory appeal. Unbelievable. So Chris loses his day in court. Chris says that there's going to be no settlement. He wants his day in court to prove the hell that it went through. Can you imagine your children? Chris has daughters. Your daughters hearing that you're falsely accused of being a sexual predator? Chris Thieneman is one of the nicest guys you would ever want to meet. Now, there is an order by the court that Chris Thieneman can't say anything about this. This is news. I'm reporting this as Eric Deters Media. This is a news show. I'm allowed to report it as news. And I found out about this morning on what happened in court, that the judge had to say, well, we got to wait for the appeals court before Chris Thieneman gets his trial. The reason why O'Connell hates Chris Thieneman is Chris Thieneman was exposing O'Connell's corruption and sick, weird stuff that was going on that O'Connell wasn't doing anything about. Jefferson County, how did you vote for this guy? You need to get rid of him. Chris Thieneman, he reminds me a lot like me, is that he's such a good guy that is unfairly vilified all the time. And I know what that's like. I know what that's like. Trump knows what it's like. So I stand with Chris Thieneman, and I want to report this as a news that this is outrageous. But Chris Thieneman ain't going anywhere. He's tougher than a pine knot. And Chris Thieneman will get his trial down the road, and Chris Thieneman will smack O'Connell for some bucks. It's what he needs to do. Hopefully it bankrupts him. In Ohio news, Ohio votes today. Have you voted? If you could early vote, you can vote. Meanwhile, Marino is up 9 points now. There was some poll that said Dolan was catching him. It isn't happening. Melissa Powers announced that Hamilton County is the only county that did not have a conviction integrity unit, and now she has one. So we'll see how that goes. What that is to make sure that things are being done fairly. All right, Darby Bodie. Some things have been delayed in her matter. Why? Because the sheriff is saying that she violated her order. I feel sorry for this woman. She's been through hell in Butler County, but she's in good hands with Robert Croskrey. And the new town mayor fires back at Tom Seenan. Tom Seenan's biggest groupie, as I used to like to tease her, is Claire. Lisa Claire. Or Lisa Brazzi now. Was a big fan of it. I used to tease her all the time. Anyway, Newtown police chief has sued the city of Newtown. Mayor's firing back at him. They're in a battle royale. I stand with Tom. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello again. You're watching Eric Deters World News. This is Jamie Spindley with today's headlines. Over 100 people are being abducted in 2 separate attacks in northwest Nigeria, escalating concerns over the country's security situation. The abductions occurred in Kaju area of Kaduna State, with criminal gangs, locally known as bandits, being blamed for the incident. This comes just after weeks. More than 250 school pupils were seized in the same state. Ethiopia's largest commercial bank, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, is facing a financial crisis after a system glitch allowed customers to withdraw more money than they had in their accounts. Customers discovered the error, resulting in over $40 million being withdrawn or transferred to other banks. The CBE took several hours to freeze transactions, scrambling to recoup the lost funds. In other news, at least 10 people are being found dead in Pittsburgh, a wealthy suburb of Haiti's capital, with escalating gang violence and political instability following Prime Minister Ariel Henry's resignation. Witnesses reported seeing bodies with bullet holes in the affluent neighborhood on the outskirts of Port-au-Prince. Armed gangs targeted homes, banks, petrol stations, with reports of shooting and looting in nearby area. And Gianni Infantino, president of FIFA, has condemned the violence that erupted in the Turkish Super Soccer League following Fenerbahce's 3-2 win at Trabzonspor. Fans of Trabzonspor stormed the pitch, engaging in brawls with players from visiting Fenerbahce and security staff. Infantino labelled the violence as unacceptable and called on the Turkish authorities to take immediate action. That's the latest headlines from the team and I. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Chase Young has signed a 1-year contract, $13 million with the New Orleans Saints. Kalen DeBoer from Alabama has a 5-year deal, over $10 million each year, puts him in the top 5 as coaches. Tom Crean went off on everybody denying the NIT. Folks, I'm going to tell you right now, once upon a time, the NIT meant something. It doesn't anymore. They ought to disband it. Rick Pitino says the selection process is fraudulent. I agree. I stand with Rick Pitino. The 9th region, Northern Kentucky, gets screwed every year. You ready for this? If you get chosen to play in the top half of the bracket, you start playing on Wednesday. It gives you an extra day to win 4 games and win the championship. Guess what's happened 9 straight years with the coin flip? Yeah, right. The 9th region gets stuck in the bottom half of the bracket playing on Thursday. You think that's a coincidence? Northern Kentucky gets screwed by the rest of the state over and over again. Yet another example. Dan Weber pointed that out. Stuart Fairchild of Cincinnati Reds is going to make the open day roster. Travis Perry, Mr. Kentucky. Lyon County, and guess what? He's headed to UK. Reed Shepard, freshman of the year in NCAA. University of Louisville coach. Who will it be? I hear the front runner, Bob Huggins. Good choice. Van Der Esch, Dallas Cowboys, had to retire for 6 years due to a neck injury. Trent Williams of San Francisco should be sued. Kobe, his parents are selling his ring. Everybody's going bonkers. You know what? Who cares? The family wants the money instead of the ring. Let them have the money. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Pop Culture. Toby Keith has been inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame along with Burton and John Anderson. Dr. Dre has admitted now, before he denied it, that he had several strokes and that basically his problem came from an undiagnosed aneurysm, which he failed to pay attention to. He said symptoms. He said blood pressure is the silent killer. By the way, if you can afford it, and most of you can, you ought to buy the best blood pressure machine on the market and test your blood pressure regularly at home. I do. Springsteen is back, which is great because I got tickets to the April concert in Columbus, which has been canceled 3 times. Timothy Chalamet is playing Bob Dylan. I look forward to seeing how well he does. The Rock vote. Apparently you vote to see who's winning. David Matthews is now on top, followed by Ozzy, Foreigner, and Frampton. All right. Jeff Lynne, ELO announced they're going to do the final tour. Wouldn't mind seeing if they come. And Rose Hanbury has spoken up. She looks like olive oil. Williams' alleged mistress, Rose Hanbury, says it is not true. False, false, false. Look at Kate. Look at Rose. Of course, men do stupid, irrational things. Kate, olive oil. I think Williams sticking with Kate. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.